seen some crazy things.
All right, well, that was fun. I can't believe I just tuned into a kill. That was insane.
I believe, if I remember correctly,
That
Luka
was
running
insane.
a lot of Hulk.
That was
during their
insane
first
timing.
map, and I believe helped them take that W in domination on one of the maps as well against the Sentinels. So yeah, that's gone, and we will see the change up.
Yeah, that's interesting too, because you know Luka also playing the Venom too. I mean, has had moments. It is interesting because I feel like Venom, for a lot of people, is maybe a little bit of a stronger hero than Hulk is currently, just because the Hulk, you know, plays.
All right, so we got a brand new match. Last match of the day. Shikigami versus Nightmare. Nightmare's team is Mace, Pizza Demon, Luka, Baser, Melania, and Kendrick Lamar himself. Coming down from the Super Bowl, coming straight to Marvel Rivals, ready to perform for the audience. Sorry. Shikigami is, I'm unfamiliar with this team, so I actually don't know. I don't know them at all, really. So that's on me. But hey, they're on the screen.
Have Bucky pulling back the Hulk in those moments too.
Was it Scatter, Ricky Days,
as they are going to start
Dinks,
Shikigami here on the high ground.
Krasmang,
we've seen from a lot of these pro teams, and we will begin.
And Amadian, is that right? Amadian? What's his name? I don't know. I can't see it. Scatter.
Although he was pushed off by what looks like to be the Invisible Woman on Shikigami's side.
We're playing Midtown again.
Team healthy right now, playing it slow.
This is the map that Sentinels beat our ass.
Ground, but unfortunately unable to do so.
This map's kind of hard to play. There's a lot going on.
Turning that around as I didn't think it was going to go in their favor. Walls are up. Wolverine about to pop.
Melania and Wolverine? You hate to see that. Get Melania off of Wolverine, please. I think we do a swap here. I think we do a swap. I think we get Melania off Wolf.
Maybe a little bit off page with Luka, you know, sometimes going in a bit too deep or not having the support. And there it is again, unfortunately.
Luka, bro.
Back up on the high ground, resulting in him.
What's happening here?
And
is it time to retire or what?
In the sky, ultimate advantage
Sorry.
on the side of Nightmare,
it was like one death. He died once.
To get that ultimate back so fast, and Wolverine tries to get the tackle.
That's close.
Gonna be pocketed by the Magneto, but no value just yet. Into the sky we go as the invisible boundary gets popped on the side of Nightmare. The fight begins on both sides now, and ultimates are being used. Bucky,
Baser ults.
not able to find anyone just yet.
Dinks doesn't even need an ult yet, bro. This is free. Kite this, kite this. Shikigami kites this. Okay, never mind. They used an ult. I feel like if they kite there behind the ambulance. They force them around that corner. They have one support ult. They win.
Composition ending up to be a bit stronger, right? Making sure that Wolverine is picked instead of Bucky.
Max ads is insane. Yeah, I thought about running max ads for a couple days just to see what 22 minutes of ads feels like, but I decided against it.
Obviously, the Wolverine's damage was too much, even with the invisible boundary.
I am Groot.
We are going to have one more fight here. Great teleport to give them a chance.
I am Groot.
And the Bucky launches as Ken looks for somebody. Yep. Gonna reset off the clones. Mace gonna pick up Scatter. There goes Ace as well. And Kendrick gonna get another as they press on to point 2.
Yeah, ultimate advantage in their favor. It seems like Shikigami just
Nightmare looking damn good
with that Doctor Strange, right? Just to get into the point fast. Unfortunately for them, didn't pan out. Maybe didn't get it off that string.
Running max ads would really boost your YouTube viewership.
For Nightmare, they were able to play that super well. So now 4 minutes into the streets phase of Midtown. At the moment, Nightmare looked to be in a good spot, but Shikigami, they can get the momentum back off of some good ults.
I feel like it's so weird that Luka is on Venom. I don't understand.
This choke right here at the bottom.
Like, I feel like it's so odd.
Respawn and retake as fast as possible. Millennia looking for some.
Like, I feel like Nightmare's at a complete disadvantage playing Venom as much as they're playing.
Start spinning to win to gain that ulti charge 99% again as Daze tries.
Like, Luka, we gotta talk about your hero pool, because we can't just be playing one tank.
As they're going to push them back towards spawn.
Yeah, I just love how this comp plays, right? It's super simple for Shikigami.
It's so Melania could dive properly? Bro, you don't need a Venom to help a fucking Wolverine. That's crazy. You have a Magneto, you're fine.
Yeah, well done across the board there for Shikigami, retaking obviously the momentum not in their favor. Luka dives in, gets pulled back towards the crystals. Well done there by Pizza as they are going to pop Invis as well inside of Loki. Nice drop from Millennia, taking out Crazeming.
The Legendary over the top side too. Amadian is blasting
Oh,
down.
passive
Can
gone.
they find even more? It looks like Shikigami's holding on. It looked like NTMR were sort of in a good spot. Maybe they still are with that pick off on Amadian. And if they play around the choke point, find the picks, and they do so. Kendrick, nice shots, and the team rebounds well.
I don't think he needs to ult, right?
Did
He's
a
chilling.
really good job, I believe, was SVP on both
fuck
maps
it.
last time, as we are going to start the
Fuck it.
Kendrick looking
Holy
good,
shit.
not able to do anything. Luka dives in to try to provide some support. The crystals are popped. Luka using that shield to retake as Venom going to dive back out and buy some time. The sheer amount of HP
I mean, that's one thing that's cool about Venom.
is
Being able...
obscene, but no, not going to matter as he does fall early. Millennia going to take out Crazy, even out the numbers.
Oh.
And they are going to continue as Millennia gets 2 and Mace falls up to clean up the last.
That is one thing that's cool about Venom is Venom can go really, really far, die, or like help that Bucky. Like Bucky, usually you see Bucky ults and they're really safe. You know, they stay within the bulk. But with a Venom, you could Bucky ult ahead of it a little bit. Which is interesting.
With such a massive ultimate, also off these Groot walls, you mentioned how it's a scratching post for him. So Millennia doing so much with the kidnap to start it off here too.
Yeah, it's tough to want to run the Groot comp if you're going to keep Wolverine on the fight. Obviously, a good invis.
Jesus Christ, what is happening?
Kendrick getting 2, Mace getting 3.
Dude, NTMR's owning these guys.
NTMR just putting on a masterclass on how to clean up these team fights and shoving them back into the spawn again.
3 minutes left to go now.
Venom can int and it isn't a throw. Is that just Venom's job, just to int? It's crazy.
Shikigami and both of their Strategist ultimates can counter it on their side. They've got so many coming up. Also, Kraz on the thing now to try to mix it up, maybe deal, or maybe go for harder engages.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like
that would be good for this.
I don't know.
Nice hook to start it off.
I don't know if I'm crazy, but in my head, I still feel like Luka on something else would be better.
Yeah,
but
it's a good start for them, as you're saying.
It's working right now.
Kendrick does have
I just don't know if it'll work against
Pizza and Mace as well, as
like really good teams.
Virtually even on both sides, but we'll see who can utilize it a little more effectively. This turn is difficult, and here comes the Magneto looking to dunk that meatball. No value though. Great shielding, and here comes Kendrick on the follow-up. They are trying to look for more.
Doesn't Vinny play when he can't play Groot? Yeah, but Groot's in.
Allowing him to reset.
You know,
and here comes the return.
Groot would be fucking huge.
Get another pick back and does turn it on Kendrick, winning that Bucky battle.
Jesus Christ, what is happening?
To the rest of the team.
Yeah, that was a great counter engage around the corner, and a Venom ultimate a bit late there from Luka. But maybe this last stand could be big with the ultimate, goes back into the backline, but everybody's sustaining over here. A lot of ults committed right now from NTMR. They need to win right here and now. Mace able to get a Madian is huge, but do they have the support around this payload to continue?
Damn, they're not going to make it full. That's great. Well, hold on.
It looks like things
Wait.
have now slowed back up to virtually where they were prior to the pops of all those ultimates. No movement of the cart just yet. Amadian.
Millennia is building all fast.
There goes the dive by both the Wolverine and Luka. And Millennia gonna fall. Good pick there by Amadian, who's immediately gonna dive back into the backline. Gets pushed away by Invis to slow that pace up 65% towards their next ultimate. Amadian just generating right now with 60 seconds on the clock.
Playing it slow at the moment. Right, a lot of ultimates used, like you mentioned.
If Amadian holds his ults, if he holds his ult for after all of these ults, and they can manage to stall this, it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good.
Defensive side to hold, and then here comes the meteor and into the boundary.
I really like the change in comp here, as Craze is going to change up into the thing.
That's one ult. Bazer's ult's coming up next. Later. Mace with the Pokeball. No fucking way Mace goes for the Star-Lord. I don't know why they Star-Lord ulted. I feel like you wait at that point. You know? Obviously, they're going to have another support ult, but I don't know. Bad support ult usage. They had that full hold, I think. I feel like they had that hold.
You can maybe touch with no time left and no vanguards here. How are you going to sustain? You're trying to pull them off the objective. You're back on the Venom, able to touch.
No way. Okay, they're good. They got it. They got it.
It's so hard to live. Can Daze pop up here? Maybe he can. Millennia goes down.
Wait.
How much damage is coming through from NTMR? There's a Spider-Man back into the fight.
What the fuck? I have never seen that one before.
Legendary from the sky. Amadian finds one.
He got another ult? Holy shit.
But it's so back and forth. And Kraz is just standing on the thing right now, Shiv. Just able to stall on this payload for so long.
Yeah, this has been
There's no way they're still fighting.
They switch over on
Baser has ult. They should clean this up.
Here comes the pop from Invisible Boundary.
Wait, Dinks has ult. Dinks has to steal their... Dude, if their Inviswoman hides, they win. If their Inviswoman hides, they win. I think they know that.
And turned right back around as Daze takes out Kendrick. There's that res. Oh my good, Daze gonna take out Millennia again.
There's no way.
Mace goes down. Daze is on a 3-piece. Soon to be 4. And yes, just like that.
Bro.
They are gonna hold up.
What?
Holy crap. That might be the most
Loki should have just copied Star-Lord at that point, but like, I thought for sure they were going to lose. That's okay.
Dude,
all right.
Unsung hero, or not, maybe not unsung in this case.
That,
you know, you sure saying his
that's a
name
blunder.
out loud. Daze,
Nightmare absolutely fucked up, and I bet you they're pissed. Right now, if I'm on voice comms and I'm Nightmare, I am actually, I am angry. I'm arguing. I don't really argue. I actually am really afraid of confrontation. Anytime there's any form of confrontation or anything like that, I get really scared. So I didn't argue. I just took it. But yeah.
To get back to point, but then just out of nowhere, Shikigami just wasn't losing anybody. Great pop there by Ricky on the backside, and just held the team up with that invisible boundary, and then just an insane turnaround of plays from Daze, getting a 4-piece. I saw some picks there from Scatter as well. Just a really well done. Crazy.
You literally folded under zero pressure. I know, that's just my personality, man. I'm just a little bitch. That's okay though.
Yeah, wonder.
Self-aware, you know. Self-aware, self-care.
The thing kind of potentially shut down Wolverine a little bit more than other Vanguards, right? Because you know, obviously, yeah.
He can't be tackled, right? Like, he can't be pulled back towards the team. So yes, Wolverine is still a pain, but he's able to.
What did you do back then when your team makes a blunder?
Wolverine is honestly his value.
Nothing.
Pull back in towards your team. Just
I don't say anything. I don't care.
Losing a ton of HP, right?
I know everyone's trying to play their best. If they fuck up, they better know they fucked up, and that's it. Doesn't matter. Arguing about it's not gonna do anything.
And that makes it a lot more difficult to get value as Wolverine.
Great point. I mean, it seems like it's doing a good job countering it. In fact, so much so that they've swapped off of it and swapped back to Star-Lord.
Oh,
Mace. Opens it up onto a Madian. Nice find from them, and also Nightmare put themselves in a good spot. Very aggressive.
Bro, Mace, you need to get the other Magneto skin. What is this ugly ass fucking skin? This is default, no?
Yeah, I mean, well, real quick, I gotta.
Can we get him on the actual goated one?
On these poke heroes with his Doctor Strange and his Magneto here. That was a great pick early, but yeah, I mean, I do like the way these teams are playing together right now. We've been seeing a lot of teams holding second tier here, but
yeah, the only time I actually like to argue is if someone's being like stupid, like, you know, they're oh my god, if they're like, if they can't see that they fucked up, or they're not aware enough to know that they fucked up and they won't accept it, that's when I get kind of mad.
And here comes the legend.
But besides that, I'm chill.
Baser keeping him healed up. That's all that matters in this moment, is making sure Star-Lord can continue to fight, but they are going to pop some strategist ultimates. And Ricky going to keep their team in it. Kray's going to take out Mace during ult, and that's the power of Groot when Magneto is using that ultimate.
Yeah, it's been tough for Nightmare's strategists to build up towards ultimate, save the team, but
they still got him. Wait. That's crazy. Wait, that's crazy.
Walk forward, even without a Madian, but they've got the Kraken impact downrange. We've seen Daze do it.
Don't nerf this character, please. Please don't nerf him.
But Daze takes the final blow off of some nice Invisible Woman play. It's just able to get so many resets, just get so much damage downrange, and without your own Winter Soldier,
damn, what a hook! He gets health back.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here. They are fighting their
no, they don't get Luca. Oh, what just happened?
Sure, it's gonna be enough on this fight. I don't believe so. Daze goes
no
down,
way.
the side of Nightmare.
Oh, that's what we call a Bucky blunder. The BB.
Kray's main ulti here with the Groot. Will they find a strangling prison? Ooh, that's a tough loss right there.
Yeah, it's a bit far. Millennia over the top left too.
That's tough. Shikigami had it.
For Kraz, yeah, that's a wasted ultimate. Now you have a minute and 30 left. They thought they could close it out. Nice recontest there from Shib, from Nightmare. I mean, they were able to deal with Kraz, who I'm assuming got hooked by Winter Soldier and then just tried to go for a, you know, a deep strangling prison. But you don't have a lot of ultimates for this upcoming fight on both sides. It could go either way with a minute left.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate it did get shut down trying to make the play there with Craze. I like the idea of Groot. Unfortunately, just a lot
Holy
of
shit.
on the opposition, shutting that down early, and some shields out there, obviously. With
Dude,
Mace.
Star-Lord versus Star-Lord against Super Gomez was so fun. In the Twitch Rivals. Oh, shit was awesome.
On the side of Nightmare, as Shikigami's probably starting to make sure they're playing a little safer.
Mace is really good at these bubbles for his Star-Lord.
Dave's gonna get a pick. They're gonna even that out again and use the invisible boundary to keep both teams in the fight right on point.
Did my quality get worse? Or is it just blurry? I don't know what's going on here. Oh.
The ultimates popped.
Huh?
Hitting the building, not going to be able to get a reset off of it, but both boundaries out. Both
oh no!
Staying in their lane.
The Bucky blunder again. The BB. No way they're gonna get full held. They're actually getting full held right now.
Takes down a Median. Even more to fall with 20 seconds. Shikigami sent all the way back home.
Yeah, Nightmare really showcasing their team synergy. Played it safe, played it slow. A lot of space created there by the Vanguards and immediately capitalized after the fact as they are up again in ultimates with 3 seconds
there it is.
on the clock. That should do it.
Wait, they did touch though. I mean, maybe a Median came back through Kraz onto Venom. They're against ultimates though, so yeah, you're right. It's going to be tough. Also, Crystal's popped here. Unless somebody hard thieves. I don't know. Nightmare, can they close it out right here? And now Shikigami's holding on.
Odds are stacked in their favor, but we all do love an underdog story as we begin to proceed. There
Big ol'.
The ultimate from Venom, really well done there. Generating a
dude, that was sick. That actually looked really cool. The Star-Lord Venom combo right there looked cool as fuck. That was badass. That was a badass way to end the match.
I mean, if that was game number 1, who knows what's in store for us later down the line. You know, for the side of Nightmare, they're able to.
All right, well,
after,
I'm assuming most people expected Nightmare to win first map. Probably expect to win the series. Once again, we're playing the winners of these matches, so we could play Nightmare, we could play Envy again. I think there's a chance for a rematch, or we could play the loser of FlyQuest 100 Thieves, which ended up being FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, good matches no matter what.
Like you're saying, following up, Venom does a great job of drawing attention and dealing a ton of damage, especially with ult up. 50% of HP from every target, so you can't be afraid to initiate.
Someone said, damn, the first lady won MVP.
You use
what does that
that
mean?
ult to stun them up and allow the right click to pop, and at that point, all you have to do is have a Star-Lord get in there, start spin to win, and immediately the team will fall. And it was
Melania?
how strong that
like
could
from
be
Elden Ring?
right there.
Like
I think Mace
sword lady, whatever she's called.
Bubbles. The whole team is coordinating it very well right now. We saw Shikigami on their defense ship. They did really good as well, just setting up a Median with the blasters, with the bubbles on the Magneto. But generally for Nightmare, I mean, it was just so clinical for them just to constantly do that back and forth. It felt like the whole game was under their control.
Trump's wife shroud.
Like Days had a massive crack at impact or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was strong performance. I especially liked the defense on point 3. It seemed like the team kind of came into their own, but on the attack front, they won a few fights. They were ahead on a few fights.
Isn't that also isn't Melania also from Elden Ring, or am I crazy?
The teleport play from Strange really bought them time. They were at the end of point 1, and honestly, I find it difficult in this map to get a Strange portal there in time because it just feels kind of far away in terms of where you come out of your spawn, or at least you have to walk to the other side of spawn in order to get the portal started. They made it work. They got the touch and they held on.
Blade of Mikola. That's right. All right. Well, that was expected. Just I was hoping for a closer match there, and it almost was. That was a difference of a couple like small misplays to get that first one. Like, I don't even think they really fucked up as a team. I just think a couple misplays and a couple of decisions that went a little differently. Like, I really do think that Bucky's ultimate was a bad choice. It's really hard. That's why Bucky can be a little difficult. Like, you have that momentum and you're running with it and you're just againning and againning and againning. But you have like 8 seconds to hold that ult. It was right before this happened. They would have won that fight. But he ulted Venom in a Loki clone, which was great. Actually, I could just rewind it. Look, I'll show you. It was... Let me just find it. I think this was the difference maker in the fight. And you can't exactly say it's all one person's fault, but the challenge of Bucky, if I can just get... Hello? What's going on here? If I could just go there, please? Bro, are we for real? What's going on here? Hello? Was it here? No, no, no. It was the fight before this. It was right here. So the challenge of Bucky is right here. He gets a reset, right? Good. He used it. He's looking. He wants to go here. He sees this. He sees the Venom plus the clone. He's like, all right, this is a great choice. Like, he might not have made it here. I think he would have if he went for it, but maybe not, right? And maybe Melania would have right-clicked. That's fine. So he gets the reset here, but the problem is he instantly hits Q when he has like 8 seconds after his reset. So he gets it. He sees Venom low. Venom hasn't popped his ult yet, so he's actually not this low. And then he hit it insta, right? He had 8 seconds to decide what to do. And that is not the reason they lost, but it's pretty important. Like, to not spamming Q on Bucky is half the battle, because he had so much time. He could have shot a little bit, got Venom lower. He could have found Baser back here. Melania's right up top. Melania's trying to run away at half HP. If he hooks Melania, grabs him, slams him, there's so many more things he could have done. And I know that he regrets this decision. 100% he regrets this decision when he did this ult. He did it so fast.
But Daze takes the final blow off of some nice Invisible Woman play. It's just able to get...
Just not enough time to monitor the situation.
So many resets, just get so much damage down range. And without your...
And now look, Mace's, he would have had, like, he already used ult, but he still would have had ult even here. Mace is literally like no HP at all. Slam over the shield, that's a kill.
Winter Soldier, it's going to be super hard for Nightmare to hold on.
Yeah, a lot of...
It's tough. It was all on that. And then by the time they got their Star-Lord ults, Pizza Demon pops his.
Pressure here.
And then, boom, Pizza Demon has an ult for Star-Lord, and then they lose. Stuff.
Number you. I still need you. Your powers are mine.
It's not completely his fault, though. It's not, but, like, you as a Bucky player should know better to observe the situation before you slam, you know? Especially in a moment like that, but that's a moment where there was a lot of pressure, probably a lot of chaos. It's hard to make that decision, unless you've obviously been doing it for a very, very long time. More often than not, when you play Bucky, unless you know it's going to be like back-to-back insane, you're going to get a two-piece. More often than not, you're going to slam one, wait, look for the next opportunity, slam again.
Double the failure. Double the fun. Success.
Lots of adrenaline flowing, though, so it's very easy to make mistakes when you got the blood pumping.
Heavy weapons.
Liquid won Race to World first. I know. I literally tuned in last second. That was the craziest. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was just like browsing. I was in between matches and I was just browsing. I was just browsing Twitch. I was just like, oh, what's going on? I saw Max on. I was like, dude, the race is still going on, huh? And then just boom, they're at 5%, and I watched them kill it. It's crazy. Damn, they're far ahead. Well, not too far ahead, actually. Well, I don't know. Are they far ahead? I feel like maybe. Well, we know Echo's going to kill it tonight, probably, when they get on. They're going to be bummed about the news, though. Even with all the delays. But at the same time, it's kind of stupid. Race to World First does this stupid thing where, like, EU starts at a different time than NA. So it's, like, kind of scuffed. Like, always. Like, Race to World First is always scuffed. Wow, was such a clusterfuck? Not really. There's not much happening here. He's just doing his rotation. You know, there's a couple circles you got to dodge. WoW isn't as crazy as it looks. It looks crazier than it actually is. Retail WoW is pretty fast, though. Pretty fast-paced game, but it's not too crazy.
Shikigami.
Was the race close at all? I mean, kind of. It's just the problem with the race is, like, Echo is the contenders. It's usually Echo and Liquid that are the top two guilds. But Echo is a European team, and World of Warcraft does their updates at different times. So North America gets the update first, I think. I think North America gets the update first, and then Europe gets it later or some shit. It's just weird. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's dumb. I don't know why they don't have the same launch time. It's dumb as hell. It's actually dumb as hell. EU could also do a boot camp at NA for Race World first. I mean, some could argue Liquid could do a boot camp in Europe for Race World first.
Like, even me, when I look at stats, I'm a better domination player. Just simply win those maps far more than I win others. So obviously that's going to be a selection coming into play. But we are going to be making our way over to Yggdrasill's Path, which is a personal favorite map of mine. Strange plays great here. Vanguards get some value here. I like playing this map. Simple portal blocking, you know, doing a little bit of the cheese. But we'll see what the bans are going to look like based on from the last game. Do you have any suggestions or guesses at what we might see?
There's so much logistics to worry about. Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid literally has a facility. Imagine going to somewhere else that's not part of their facility. Are you still playing ranked after? Dude, this is going so fucking long. Like, I'll play probably a couple matches or something, but dude, it's going longer than I had expected. I was kind of hoping it would be done like 2 hours ago. But yeah, I'll probably still play a little bit.
Shikigami maybe prioritizes a bit more of the strategists. You know, we saw, you know, Hella being banned, I believe, and I believe it was Luna Snow Protect, and then like a Name War ban come through. So
I thought this match was supposed to be like 3 hours ago. Well, it says schedule-wise, when's 21:45? So if this is 4 o'clock, this would be 5:15. This would be 6:30, and then this would be 7:45. It's 10. I mean, it's a little bit over, but it's not too much over.
Just enough, right? He feels a lot stronger, a lot more pressuring when he lands those left clicks. If he gets a
it's not too bad, actually.
It just deals an insane amount of damage. It can just sweep back line. If you
actually, it might even be exactly on schedule. 23, is that 10? That's 10. Or wait, no. Yeah, that's 10. Wait, it's actually kind of on schedule.
We talked a bit, again, just Shroud about it, and he was like, yeah, you know, I don't know if it's enough yet, but we haven't seen the time on it, and I agree with that.
What?
I would just be curious, because I have seen a bit of Human Torch in last.
Oh, he was talking about Human Torch.
Not too much as we entered into Eternity. It just seems like he's not as valuable as something like Storm.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that point. I mean, the only real...
Yo, Human Torch ain't bad now. They buffed him kind of nice. I'm just saying, Human Torch ain't bad. Get me in Human Torch in ranked right now. I'll tell you, I'll show you a good time. I'll show you a real good time.
In terms of the pick ban, in this case here, Shib, just to go back to it...
23 is 11 p.m. Oh, my bad.
Nightmare, the only difference here now is for Shikigami, they ban out the Wolverine.
My man doesn't know military time.
You know, they think
okay,
dude.
On
the Groot. I like how
23 is 11.
I like how that Nightmare, you know, they
Says
are
who?
really playing the quote-unquote meta, right? They're not playing the
Are you sure?
All the time, right? They have Luke on Hulk, or they have him on the Venom. So it's interesting to see them kind of go counter meta.
Yeah, and you see here the Iron Fist, right? We haven't seen that yet in the Invitational. Fist did get a change to feel more like essentially like he's an anti-tank.
I thought Zero was midnight. Are we positive?
Percent damage similar to Wolverine, so he's Wolverine too, right? If you ban Wolverine, all right, I'll just play Iron Fist and fight the front line and make your life, impossible. So I am curious to see how that changes.
All right, do we think
that does switch up and go to the Black Widow, which is
Miletti's a troll. No. Wait. Nice troll. Nice. Yes, Black Widow can be a super strong hero. Shit. One of the worst.
Wait, yes, it is. Oh, it doesn't go 24-0. It goes 23-24 is 0. Oh shit! I just learned something new.
My bad.
All right, we think this match goes any differently, or do you think Nightmare just fucking walks with them?
A small chance of Mantis.
Oh yeah, you're right for sure. I mean that damage boosted
Fucking Venom, bro. Luca on Venom cracks me up.
Star-Lord and stuff, just we saw earlier with damage boost and the
I think it's so silly.
But immediately Luca displacing the back line, giving a lot of space for Nightmare on their attack.
And here we go with the first fight. Oh, nice pull.
Damn.
Incredible pull from Kendrick. Taking out
Yo, where's my bub?
And you love to see that start as Nightmare are going to get a lot of pressure in and own this space. Just a ton of like raw damage off the rip. Throwing around these corners. Usually you see a battle around that corner for 1 or 2 fights. But no, these teams have just been following up after a pick.
Jesus Christ, they're just in a corner, dude. Just stuck in the corner.
Great work from the Rex Club. Nobody else here now. I mean, they throw out a copy boundary. Shikigami trying to still fight this. It might be ill-advised, however.
Do they delay with Ricky's ult too from Shikigami? They do. Wow, they really want to cut the time as much as they possibly can. The portal's coming in. Bucky swapped to Strange, so the portal's coming in. It's not really going to matter too much, but they're shaving some time off. What? Maybe they get like 20 more seconds.
Follows up on the Kraz. That's a nice final blow to get, but a lot of commitment from Shikigami. They're going to need to find a final blow right now if they want a chance to hold at the moment.
Wait, did I just see Kendrick attempt to stuff that? I think he just tried to stuff the ult, which would have been insane on Bucky. He thought he got enough HP from abilities to make it so he could live through it, but unfortunately not able to do it. Would have loved to see it. Luca taking this space here. There goes 3, and they are.
I mean, they shaved off almost a minute. That was like 40 seconds. That wasn't bad.
Done here by Nightmare, keeping that pressure up with 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, at first for Shikigami's side, you know, like, okay, why you want to commit Loki ultimate? Why
Pizza Demon? Look at him.
When you're losing a fight such as that, but you know, for Shikigami, they're already close to another ultimate again on both of their strategies.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't too bad. That was all right. It was the best they probably could have done in that shitty fucking situation. Dude, the Venom dive? The Venom dive with the Star-Lord fucking... with the Star-Lord E? Is really strong, dude. Like, actually insane. That's a lot of damage.
Using that dodge tech reload to make sure he doesn't take any damage and keeps alive, but they will have one more touch at this. Will they try to get in here with an ultimate? It will depend, or do they think they can touch without?
Is Nightmare cooking something here with this comp or what? What are we thinking? What are we thinking, team in the chat? We think they're cooking? Ooh. There's no... Oh, he could ult. He could ult. There's no lamps. There's no lamps. Oh my god. What is happening? What in the Fortnite?
Just to get these final blows here towards the cart. Kendrick kind of on one at the moment right now. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. Say, Drake, what does that mean?
Yeah, man,
Storm with the crazy skin?
On a rampage now, the momentum is palpable. You can just feel it as they're running at the opposition.
Yeah, Nightmare's bullying these guys. It's definitely pretty one-sided, yeah.
As we'll now see up in the sky a Storm on a Median, and they're still going to keep up virtually everyone else. No change besides the Storm. Trying to get someone in the sky to divert focus a little bit. Still keeping this pressure. The card has just not stopped moving this entire time. As Luka dives towards the back line.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he's good. Dude, a complete slaughter, bro.
Pushing this thing with a very minimal halt on the card at all.
Yeah, this is
my team might play Nightmare. There might be a world in where tomorrow they play against each other, which will be really fun to watch.
To deal with his right clicks, just got so much damage onto the strategist, and they just got to lead it.
Yeah, we are going to have the Galactic Legend ready here for Millennia. Are they going to be able to find some value to make this thing go home? 3 minutes and 25 is a ton of time to defend here. And here comes the ult trying to find a pick early on the
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a lot of ults.
There is a change under the Magic now. Magic going to help Pseudo take the Storm. Here comes the Tornado. Will it get done? It does take out one as Baser falls, but Amadian going to get traded from Millennia.
Nightmare's backline is so low. I don't know if they're going to totally live. I mean, Mace comes back for the peel.
Dude, this point is crazy.
Gets removed by Days on Magic now, which we haven't seen too much of this tournament.
He pushed him back
at the moment with 3 minutes left to go. Shikigami.
Bro, why does my rivals crash all the time?
Do you think that's a product of just the power?
And when in doubt, just be like everybody else on the internet. Blame UE5. Seems to work for everybody else.
Yeah, I definitely
be like those people.
The board, a lot of the characters sort of power crept in terms of patches and stuff, but Magic's still not that bad of a hero, right? I would say maybe, okay, well, Caster Curse, he's going to go down first for a Nightmare.
Yeah, I did also see the new Storm skin. Gotta show a lot of love to that. That thing is awesome. Really dope to see the hammer floating around. And here we go as Luka trying to make a play. We are going to be popping in Viz as the boundaries are out on both sides. Trying to find Storm goes down a Median. Ricky.
Okay, now they finally lost the point. They're taking a really long time to kill this guy, though. Oh my god, they're taking a really long time to kill this guy, though. Oh my god.
So putting pressure onto the DPS, and here
dude, Shikigami wants it so bad.
No, not able to find value. Millennia gonna keep guessing. Here comes a return.
They got nothing. They got nothing. They have to hide at spawn. They have to hide at spawn. It's over.
Still ahead in numbers now, but it has not stopped yet as they're still holding on. Well done by
bro,
Shikigami
hello?
The
okay, there we go.
Maintain it, but no, Kendrick gonna push Ricky away.
This game makes 32 gigabytes of memory look like nothing. To be fair, is 32 gigs of memory much anymore? I feel like it's starting to slow down a little bit.
Happening with Shikigami's side, you know, overall Nightmare looked really strong at this sort of off-meta Venom composition, which not even really off-meta, it's just another choice, I guess, to go for this like die Venom distraction sort of play style. For Shikigami's side, right, they protect the Groot. But unfortunately, they're just getting ran on by Nightmare right now. You know, we see a lot of the really good Groot team Shib, you know, be able to deal with Nightmare in this dive on Venom, but obviously
90% of your chat probably is like 16 or less, I bet.
Sticking to a meta throughout the whole tournament, even if you can't play it as well as some of the top teams.
I thought 32 was like the new 16 in my head. Like I thought that we were kind of there, but maybe not.
Thus far.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the lack of final hits, right? It's not a matter of, you know, it's difficult, like you're saying. It's whether each comp can be run more effectively than the other by the other team, but it's also just a matter of momentum, and you could just see Nightmare there for at least the first 2 points, 2.5 points. They did not stop moving the cart. It was not necessarily a stagger fest, but it was definitely a communication issue in those fights. Ultimates being used for potentially
my YouTube chat.
And that just steamrolled.
My YouTube chat's so funny.
Ults are being wasted or not used properly. Then you start gaining for the next one. They have the ult advantage and they win it for free. It's just, you gotta figure it out.
Somebody's just yapping and they just hit him with like, bro, he don't care, little bro.
You lose that faith in the belief that you got it. It will show and reflect on the stats.
Stupid. It's so much funnier on YouTube because the chat moves so fucking slow. So when somebody's yapping and somebody says they doesn't care, it's so much funnier because it's not like a message that just like, it's not like it disappears in the Twitch chat. You know, it stays there for a long time.
Really, timing-wise, has been perfect for Nightmare.
This is another full hold situation from Nightmare.
Find an early pull here. Will they be able to do it using that damage boost from Storm? Luka is going to fall early days. The nice early pick numbers in their favor on attack. As Shikigami's trying to turn this right back at him. Here comes another pull on high.
I actually wonder how my YouTube live streams are doing. You know, I just kind of do. I just go live on YouTube because I figure it's better quality than Twitch, and like may as well go live. You know, fuck it, I'm live anyway.
Break those walls down. Shikigami doing a good job taking this space, but here comes the next fight.
Powers of Mine. Also, here comes the boundary. Also,
oh, you got him. I could also go live on X. Would that be weird? I don't know.
We'll get rid of Pizza Demon on the back side. Even on both sides, meteors into the sky. Will it connect on top of the storm coming through on the backside?
Jesus Christ.
And Shikigami take advantage of it as they're looking to find.
Oh my god, this skin is atrocious. This is my first time seeing it in person. This thing is hideous. Bro, what? I am not modding X. I don't think there's a chat room on X. I think it's just a live stream. Yeah, this thing is atrocious. This skin is atrocious. If it didn't have the hair, it wouldn't be that bad. It would actually be okay.
In this invitational, but Storm known to be very strong right now. Obviously,
hopefully we roll out the 2K streaming wider. It's great.
And they are going to keep using this momentum.
2K streaming just breaks. Anyone that streams on 1440p for me just breaks. I can't actually watch their streams. It looks like shit on Twitch anyway. I don't know why.
forward, though, man. Nobody was really ready, but same thing with Luka on the other side. Going to go down, so it's traded 1-for-1 at the very least. Both Vanguard players sort of feeding in this case, and a wasted ult in terms of
2K is 1080p.
Just running down the back line.
Nice.
He's going to get removed. That's terrible.
What world are you living on?
Really well placed shots there, right? You saw the Vanguards in front.
If you use Firefox, it doesn't have the proper decoding. Oh, should I not use Firefox? There it is. Jesus Christ.
Shikigami gonna take it. Oh my goodness, pizza falls. Luka falls. Kendrick falls.
What the?
So well done.
What the heck was that lag? What just happened? Bro, he was flying sideways. If you're watching a 2K stream, use Chrome. Oh, I've been watching like clean stream, and for some reason it like breaks. So yeah, I guess it's the browser diff.
Great job collapsing with the Kraken impact. Obviously, it's pretty straightforward when there's everybody in such a clumped up space like they were. We'll see if Shikigami get it done.
Yeah, one more big fight here. Potentially, if Shikigami can make it happen, but no. Well done by Kendrick and Luka. Millennia to take out the first three. Gonna force the reset. Millennia taking out a Madian as well. The team knows at this point it's just reset time. Do not waste time. We start again together, and they are gonna take the spawn and try to make this happen one more time.
3 minutes left to go.
Opera GX is the meta. Okay, bro.
Ultimate, the next fight, Millennia.
In what world is Opera GX the meta, you know?
ERM is not in play. We'll see if he can get something done with Luka on a potential one-shot dive with the blasters and right-click from him.
Yeah, Kendrick trying to get that early pick.
Oh.
That is insane.
And that's why Bucky's insane. Holy shit.
Luka immediately onto the back line as soon as he sees that pick happen. Not able to get more, but it doesn't matter. That will force the respawn and wait. And down goes a Madian to stagger for a little bit.
In a sponsored world.
It's been brutal for Kraz so far.
That's fair.
Groot, hasn't really been able to deal with Kendrick on those hooks.
One day it will be Edge. Edge is pretty good. I like Edge. I use Edge a lot.
Shikigami, they have to come back in now after, unfortunately, a few seconds have been lost in terms of the time thing.
Yeah, here comes another fight. That is just a scary thing to see above your head when you push through those hallways. It's a tough angle, but they do take out Luka early as Dinks with a nice blind there, allowing us to get that pick, and they're going to try to play off that, and immediately Millennia pops off. Will they have a counter? Yes, they did switch over to the Cloak, as we had talked about earlier, whether Cloak might be more viable post-changes, and immediately going to use Invis to take that back and try to hold. The dong does not connect.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't matter as it is followed up on Mason with a great job there. Kendrick.
Oh, that's the bridge.
A Madian falls, Scatter falls, Daze falls, and once again.
I mean, Shikigami has tons of ults, so they might be able to do this, but the problem is time is not on their side. The cart is just slowly going backwards, and they're losing so much space, dude. They're losing just so much space.
Baser pulling him forward, so that was just great coordination, and Kendrick's again looking for a hook.
Yeah, kind of a demon. I would be terrified in the front line. Those pulls at max range around a corner, throwing you into some trees. Groot, obviously no stranger to trees. Hates those trees, though, as he does get picked immediately. Here we go for potentially one of the last fights of this game. If they're unable
to the quality went to shit. Oh, it's back.
That the ult advantage is in the side of Shikigami like crazy. They need to make something happen right now as Storm hits the skies. Here comes the hurricane.
Dude, Nightmare got a support ult. That sucks. Oh. Oh.
He's gonna follow up, try to get a pick, and yes, just take out Baser, beats it even down, no strategist left.
Well, there goes his ult, but it's fine.
Even if they lose this fight, Luka does get dinks on the delay. Shikigami coming back, but they'll be able to have Luka, at least for the next fight, be able to come back.
Dude, that's such a good stall, man. Oh my god, those like 3 to 5 seconds were huge.
Just to win there, whereas Nightmare only
maybe not 5. That was like 3, but still huge. They actually have another fight. And they're not even 3 on. They definitely have another fight. I think they're not 3 on because they know there's one more fight, probably. Actually, they may have. If they were 3 on from the rip, they may have actually made it. Wow. No way, ending it like that. GG's. That's GG for sure, right? Hold on. Wait.
I mean, gets
Wait.
to touch onto a member of Shikigami.
Pizza Demon's about to have ult. Pizza Demon's about to have ult. He has ult. He needs to find something. He finds it.
Pizza with the copy. They've got the boundary also overtime ticking down. So they have so much presence here. Can the strategist, the Shikigami,
oh, GG. Damn, Luca. He's got Venom like that, bro. Wait, hold on. Hold on. They have nothing. They have nothing. I thought Bucky was about to pop off. GG. I was hoping Shikigami's like guy would just pop off the Bucky. That's it. That's a wrap. I mean, that's exactly what everyone expected, I think. I think everyone expected Nightmare to beat them. I feel kind of bad that Shikigami's like just kind of getting smoked. They kind of had to do a last-second pickup of a team. And I'm not saying the team's bad. They're good. It's just like, bro, imagine having 0 days to practice before a tournament. That sucks. That sucks. I got the dub, though. Nightmare got the dub. Okay, so now we find out who we play against. I could sit here and I could wait for it, or I could just find out from you guys and play some ranked. They'll probably tell us. I guess I'll see it in my Discord. They'll probably tell us who we're playing. Wait, Nuxter posted a screenshot. How he deals with nerves, he's like 40 with 20 years of experience. Do you want me to screenshot and send it to him? Yeah. In case you're wondering who this is Energy. This is Energy from FlyQuest. 16-year-old Hello player. Am I being trolled? Yo, hello? What? In the screenshot, it literally says, do you want me to screenshot and send it to him? And he said, yeah. Look, it literally, can you read? Do you want me to screenshot and send it to him? Yeah, that works. He literally told you to screenshot it and send it to me. You asked. He said, yeah, that works. That was supposed to be private, man. Nuxter, you are a fucking, you're trolling? Listen, I see right through you, Nuxter. Your trolling is not going to work on me. Trust me, you are not. No one can out-troll me. I promise you. I promise you. Good luck with that, Nuxter. Good luck with that. Shroud leaking DMs. You guys are stupid. You guys are stupid. All right. I did not expect that to go as long as it did. I mean, I kind of expected the matches to be longer, but I feel like a lot of people were late. Like, our match did not start on time, and then the schedule was kind of fucked. It wasn't our fault, to be fair. It was J3 showing up to his interview 35 minutes late. But the matches were a lot longer today. Yesterday, the matches were like anywhere from 11 to 20, anywhere from like 11 to 20 minutes were the matches yesterday, and that's 2 matches, by the way. The BO3s were just that fast. Today, they've been a little longer, which is good. So we're going to find out soon. They're probably going to tell us soon who we play. We're either going to play FlyQuest because they lost. Oh, interview. Hold on.
Got you. Congrats on the win, dude. How you feeling after that one, man?
I'm feeling better, especially after yesterday. It feels good to get into the midway part of the tourney and make sure that we're solid for this day 3 and the next matches.
Absolutely. I feel like nerves got to be loosened down a little bit. You got some games under your belt. I mean, you played flawlessly. I love to see an Invis popping like that, getting MVP. One thing I'd be always curious about that I'd like to know from an Invis at your level is what's priority for the push-pull? Is it always pick, or is it focused on just counter-alting and stuff like that?
It really depends on comp. Mostly, especially with our specific comp, you're looking for Bucky hooks. When your Bucky is pulled in, it gets a pull. You want to pull him into your team. It's very good.
Yo, Baser kind of looks like me.
Like Hulk or anything that engages, even a strange ult if they don't time the bubble correctly.
Baser kind of looks like
which
me.
Is just amazing. So that's what we're mostly looking for.
Wait.
Yeah, I like the way you phrased that, because I think in other compositions, like you said, if you run like a Hela, right? I mean, you're playing a completely different play style on Invisible Woman, right? Just constantly making sure your Hela finds those picks. Can you maybe touch on that, like the idea of, you know, not only this hero is just played in so many different ways, right? So can you explain that maybe like compositionally?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the same with Star-Lord.
Don't we look like
I don't know if you guys
similar?
saw a lot, but when my Star-Lord is going for an ult or
that's
right
mad
out of
weird.
I'm looking to shield him.
I see the resemblance.
On him. It's the
well,
same
I don't
thing
see it because I don't have my glasses on,
but take
but
an advantage and
it's there.
the aggressive angle. And if their invis isn't matching it, or they don't have an invis, it's just an automatic 200% buff to the character. So it's perfect.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I've seen you play just a ton of different heroes. If I'm not mistaken, I saw you on Warlock and I saw you on Luna, and now you're playing Invis, all at a very high level. If you had your choice in every game, not looking at composition against you, who would you be locking?
I mean, honestly, Loki, this is the craziest part, but I really only picked up Luna and Adam this past week. This is the first time I've actually sat down and played these characters. So, like, all of that whole roster is very new to me, and I'm more comfortable on, like, the Loki Invis, but this has been fun as well, just learning stuff on the fly.
It's awesome.
I bet in your team, too, Baser, like, you guys, it's a quite different meta, I think, for you guys for Nightmare, right? Playing a lot of that Venom dive instead of playing Groot like every other team is playing. Can you maybe touch on that, or is there a little bit of a secret strategy there that you don't want to delve into too much?
I mean, I don't want to dive in too much. Just all I have to say is shout out to China. That's pretty much it.
Dude, I love that. Dude, it seems like every time, like people be watching like other regions and stuff, just like taking notes.
Wait, what did I
stuff.
miss
So
that question?
For you guys, is that just the whole team watching other regions, making sure that you guys can figure things out too, or is that just individual effort?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game has been super fun to grind and watch, and the fact that there's so many, like you have Korea, you have EU, even Australia in the OS region. There's so many different things, and watching the stuff like their regional MRIs, it's super fun, and it gives you new ideas to try. And especially when you kind of blend them together, it really can freshen up and shake the current meta in your region. So, I mean, we kind of took to that, and it's a rough start, but once you kind of get it down, it's really hard for people to adjust to it on the fly. So
I love that. I mean, my question to you would be, if you don't mind, maybe it's giving up too information, you can, you know, refuse to answer, but I'm curious, what's an example of something like, you know, you pulled from like the China teams that you've seen, or do you not want to talk about that?
Basically just the triple support comp. I know 222 is pretty popular, and most of the better teams run it. That was pretty much our biggest inspiration. I know it's pretty counterable, and it is really rough, but I feel like it's definitely has a really strong skill ceiling. So, I mean, we keep practicing that, and it also forces other teams to really turbo focus on that, and you can have some little secrets in the background. So.
Can you not see the resemblance?
Yeah, I like it. Super thoughtful interview, man. Baser, I appreciate your coming by.
Look.
Do you have any like shout outs or things you want to say before we let
we
you go
could
and
be
take the rest
brothers
for the day?
Shout out my
Look at
team,
this.
shout out you guys, shout out production. Thank you guys so much, and thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it, Baser, man. What a Chad.
Of course.
What a Chad. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
You know what I'm saying?
What a sick guy,
Awesome.
dude. We had some awesome interviews today so far.
Yeah, it's been great. I love getting the insight, right? I mean, it's difficult, right? Because you don't want them exposed too much. You want to ask good questions. So I just like hearing their thought processes. These are some of the best players in the game, right? So the answers that you get from these people are the answers that you take to the grave, right? The things that you really want to try to change. So I always try to ask questions that might
See, all I needed was that little piercing, and we could be brothers. We actually could be brothers. That little lip ring, dude. Easy.
It's a guaranteed pick at that point.
W's. That might have been interview number one. I'm gonna be honest. Baser might be interview. If we're rating interviews, I think Baser's interview is number one. Aramori number two. Cal number three, and Vinny might be number four. I'll be honest. If we're putting on the 1 to 4 scale, Baser, that was W interview. That's my long lost brother. Listen, man. We look the same. We do. Nuxter last place? No, I rate them in days, bro. I rate them in days. I could rate them overall, but I'm gonna forget by the time it ends. I'd rate the interviews by the end of the weekend. All right, we're gonna find out who we play soon, but I want to get at least a little bit of a Marvel Rivals fix, so I'm gonna load up the game really quick and just kind of frag out. I wanted to play. I want to play at least a little bit, dude. I didn't get to play at all. We'll find out who we play